Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News Update. A group of 7 teenagers accused of stealing 2 cars and leading police on pursuits in Lake Macquarie in the Upper Hunter have been arrested. The group is accused of stealing a Hyundai Santa Fe and a BMW X1 in the early hours of yesterday morning. Police began pursuing the cars when the drivers failed to stop on Minmai Road at Cameron Park just before 2:30 yesterday morning. It's claimed the Santa Fe was dumped at Edgeworth and the occupants got into the BMW before the car fled, allegedly ramming a police car before the pursuit was called off. The car was later spotted at Mount Thorley and stopped at Sandy Hollow after road spikes were deployed. 7 teenagers in the car were arrested. Lake Macquarie Council has been accused of dropping the ball over a decision to dump a contract for sewer pump-out services impacting 200 homes. The Herald reports councillors thought the idea made sense when it was first put to them, but they now realise it's left many residents living around a wobber with a crippling cost to have their sewer tanks pumped out under private agreements. The situation means only 23 of the 195 homes involved have the option to connect to Hunter Water's reticulated sewer network. The rest will have to fend for themselves. Councillor Jason Pauling's motion to revisit the issue at last night's meeting was unanimously supported. State Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe says the state government's Net Zero Manufacturing Initiative will create long-term job opportunities for those in the Hunter. The plan will see $275 million in grants put into growing renewable manufacturing and clean technology innovation across New South Wales. He says the funding will make sure Hunter businesses are at the forefront of the state's transition to renewables.
These grants are all about ensuring Hunter manufacturing is part of this revolution. They'll lead to new, secure, long-term jobs that are good for the planet and also build wealth in our Hunter community and give us security and New South Wales' sovereignty of the renewable energy supply chain.
Federal Newcastle MP Sharon Claydon says she's taking the fight against closing the Lambton Post Office up to the Communications Minister and Australia Post. She's presented a petition of close to 4,000 signatures to Parliament, urging Australia Post to reverse plans to close the post office by the 1st of May. Sharon Claydon says she'll be making representations to the Minister and Australia Post on behalf of the community. Newcastle Council wants the city to host matches at the Rugby World Cup. It's launching a bid to become a host city for the 2027 men's tournament and the women's event 2 years later. The idea is being discussed at tonight's council meeting. Council also wants to encourage teams from visiting nations to be based here during the tournament. Hearing Australia is calling on people in the Hunter to take advantage of a free hearing check next month with their Hearing the Nation tour. It comes with research showing nearly half of all Australians have never had their hearing checked. Audiologist Karen Hirschhausen says a test is a quick and easy process.
You may need to sit in a soundproof booth or room, and you'll put headphones on and be asked to indicate when you hear a series of sounds. How well you hear those sounds can help determine if you are experiencing any hearing loss or whether you require some further assessments.
2NURFM Sport.
Knights Chief Executive Phil Garner will travel to the US to oversee the operation behind the NRL's doubleheader in Las Vegas this weekend. Garner will also use the opportunity to look at what works for teams making the trip for when the Knights are drawn to play the doubleheader in future. Greater Hunter Coast Cricket Club has advanced to the Brewer Shield semi-final after beating Sydney by 139 runs in Sunday's elimination final. Quiver Bray was the star for the Hunter Coast side, scoring 146 runs not out and claiming 4 wickets for 14 runs in 7 overs of bowling. Meanwhile, Greta Brankston claimed the Cessnock District Cricket First Grade Minor Premiership last Saturday after beating Glendon by 7 wickets. A qualifying final win over Valley JPC this Saturday will send Greta Brankston straight to the grand final. And Jets coach Rob Stanton will consider starting teenage forward Archie Goodwin for the first time this season in this Saturday's F3 Derby match against the Mariners. That's sport. I'm Jessie Dennett.
And the winning numbers in Monday Lotto are 9, 18, 20, 22, 33 and 42, and the supplementaries are 1 and 17. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.